Hello, today, we are going to talk about earthquakes. Many of us know that earthquakes make the ground shake. Sometimes, this shaking is very strong and very dangerous. But there is much more to understand about earthquakes. Thinking deeply about them helps us learn about our planet, about history, and about how we can be safer. This is not just about science. It is about people and how we live on this active Earth. Let's start with the basics. What is an earthquake? Imagine energy building up deep inside the Earth. It builds up slowly, over time, in the rock. When the rock breaks or moves suddenly, this energy is released. It travels outwards as waves, like ripples in water. These waves are called seismic waves. When they reach the surface, we feel the ground shake. That is an earthquake. Some earthquakes are so small that people do not even feel them, but scientists can measure them with special tools. Other earthquakes are incredibly powerful. They can destroy buildings, roads, and entire cities in just a few moments. It's important to think about why some earthquakes cause so much more damage than others. It is not always just about the size. How do earthquakes happen? Our Earth's outer layer, the crust, is not one solid piece. It is broken into huge sections, like giant puzzle pieces. These are called tectonic plates. These plates are always moving, very, very slowly. They float on a layer of hotter, softer rock deeper inside the Earth. Where these plates meet, they push against each other, pull apart, or slide past each other. This movement creates stress in the rocks. When the stress becomes too much, the rocks shift suddenly along a line called a fault. The place deep underground where the earthquake starts is called the focus. The point on the surface directly above the focus is called the epicenter. The shaking is usually strongest near the epicenter. Thinking bigger, these same plate movements are connected to other large features of our planet. The pushing together of plates creates mountain ranges, like the Himalayas, where plates pull apart or slide. Volcanoes can form. Many of the world's earthquakes and volcanoes happen along the edges of these plates. A famous example is the Ring of Fire around the Pacific Ocean. This area has many active volcanoes and experiences most of the world's earthquakes. History teaches us important lessons about earthquakes. Let's look at a few examples. In 1556, a massive earthquake struck Shaanxi, China. It is believed to be the deadliest earthquake ever recorded, causing the deaths of over 800,000 people. Much more recently, in 1960, the strongest earthquake ever measured, a magnitude 9.5, hit Valdivia, Chile. The shaking was immense, but it also created giant waves, called tsunamis, that traveled across the Pacific Ocean, causing damage as far away as Japan and Hawaii. On March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9.0 earthquake occurred off the coast of Japan. It also caused a devastating tsunami that tragically led to the Fukushima nuclear disaster. And in early 2023, on February 6, a powerful magnitude 7.8 earthquake struck southeastern Turkey and northern Syria, causing terrible destruction and the loss of over 50,000 lives. When we look at these events, we should think critically. What do they tell us? They show the different ways earthquakes can cause harm: direct shaking, tsunamis, landslides, or even man-made disasters like the nuclear incident. They also remind us that the number of people affected depends on many things, not just the earthquake's power. Earthquakes can even have effects we might not expect. The huge 2011 Japan earthquake actually moved the main island of Japan, Honshu, eastward by about 2.4 meters, almost 8 feet. It also slightly changed the tilt of the Earth and made our planet spin a tiny bit faster, shortening the day by about 1.8 millionths of a second. This sounds small, but it shows the incredible amount of energy released and how interconnected Earth's systems are. Our planet is always changing. Why do some earthquakes cause more suffering than others, even if they have a similar magnitude? This is a critical question. The level of damage and loss of life depends heavily on human factors. Are the buildings built strongly, using designs that can resist shaking? How close do people live to the epicenter? How quickly can rescue teams arrive and help? Are there good communication systems? Is the government able to organize help effectively? Sometimes, poverty or political instability can make a community much more vulnerable to disaster. Reducing vulnerability involves more than just predicting the quake. It involves building stronger communities. Knowing what to do during an earthquake is vital. The most important advice is usually drop, cover, and hold on. Drop to the ground. Take cover under a sturdy table or desk. Hold on until the shaking stops. Stay away from windows, heavy furniture, or anything that could fall. If you are outside, move to an open area away from buildings, trees, and power lines. If you are in a car, stop safely away from bridges or overpasses and stay inside. Never use an elevator during an earthquake. Calmness is key. Panic can lead to poor decisions. Thinking clearly helps you survive. Preparing ahead of time is also crucial. Having an emergency kit and a family plan can make a big difference. Can we predict earthquakes? Scientists are getting better at understanding where earthquakes are likely to happen and how big they might be. Using sensors and artificial intelligence, AI helps monitor tiny changes in the ground. Some systems can give seconds, maybe even a minute, of warning before strong shaking arrives. This short time can be enough for people to take cover, or for systems to automatically shut down gas lines or stop trains. However, predicting the exact time, place, and magnitude of a large earthquake long in advance is still very difficult. Therefore, focusing on building safer structures, mitigation, and helping communities prepare and recover resilience is extremely important. Earthquakes are a natural part of our living planet. We cannot stop them, but we can learn more about them. We can think critically about why they affect different places and people differently. We can prepare ourselves and our communities by understanding earthquakes better, by asking deeper questions, and by sharing knowledge. We can face these powerful events with more wisdom and less fear. Let's keep learning together.